Hey, come on in. Welcome, guys. Bell Me Cherries here. Always an excitement. Let's get down to the nitty gritty of why we're here. I have tons of new products here that I do want to try and that's been waiting for me to try. And here I am on a beautiful Saturday morning before we head out for runs, TJ Maxx and Marshall runs. I figured let me go ahead and get all dolled up here with these products, sharing my thoughts on them with you all, and get beautified together and create a nice, beautiful, natural, soft makeup look today. So on my face, I've already gotten my moisturization, my sunscreen, my treatments, vitamin C's and stuff doing its work. We're not ashy today. Kisses for those who are coming back, and welcome for those who are coming here as a first timer. Welcome, subscribe, join the crew. I would really appreciate that greatly. So let's get to it. On my brow, I already have a little bit of got to be glue doing its thing, holding up the brow. We're not gonna touch that up yet because we have something in store to use on these brows. Can't wait to see the end result of that. So if you want to get through this journey with me, stay tuned and enjoy watching. All right. We have this baby right here. I don't know how long I've got this. I bought this like months ago. You know I'm not gonna pass out on my, House Lab products because the obsession is on point here, okay? I mean, not quite because I don't have all of her products, but I do love her products. So it was a matter of time for me to come and share with you guys how this looks on me. I used it twice. However, I believe I got my shade is to be lighter from what I've gotten. We're gonna go ahead and see how it looks on camera. If it looks good, y'all, I don't think I'm gonna return. I'll probably get a lighter shade. I don't know. Let's just use this House Lab. This is the Triclon Skin Tech Foundation in the shade 530 Deep Neutral. I think I might be a teensy bit lighter like I mentioned, but let's go ahead and use that up. On my face, I do have sunscreen, did not put any primer because we're gonna go ahead and use this Milani Make It Last with sunscreen SPF 30. We already have sunscreen on. We're gonna spray that up. I know I need to, I'm pending on creating a all Milani. Oof. You feel the sunscreen, you smell the sunscreen on this. So this is naturally with the sunscreen creating a nice glow on the skin. We're gonna allow that some time to set, but I'm gonna put that as my primer today and just go right on with the House Labs foundation. And I'm gonna use my little Morphe. Normally I would use the back of my hand, but we're gonna go ahead and use this little tray here and be fancy with it. By the way, these are on sale. Well, my store had them on clearance for $2 off its original price because it was what, $7.99. So we're gonna go ahead and put that on. I'm gonna put 1 scoop, 2 scoop of the Triclon foundation, and the brush I'm using is from Zoeva in the shade 224, a stippling brush, and we're gonna go right on. Y'all see what I mean? It is darker. What I'm doing, I'm gonna focus it on the outer part of the face mainly, and yeah, it is dark. I'm gonna use that on the outer part, and then with concealer and everything on the inner part. Yeah, it is darker. I just might return it, y'all. I don't know if I have my receipt because I bought it like more than 2 months ago. We can work with it. Y'all see my chest, the difference in my ear. I don't know. Okay, we do that. Let's do someone around our nose. Just blending that with my skin tone. It's not too focused on the inner part. So we do that, right? However, I would normally go in with my concealer. And the concealer I have lined up to use today with you all is this Born This Way duet here in the shade Warm Sand and Maple. So we're gonna pair that up with Maple and see how that works. But before I go in with that, listen, I had to bring this out. Oh, I just dropped my baby. Okay, I had to bring her out. She's been waiting on me to use. Let's see, no damage, no damage, no damage. Yes, no damage. Perfect. The Denessa Myricks Groundwork Defining Neutral. We're gonna put her to good use today, and that's why I mentioned to you guys in the beginning why we would hold off on the brow, because I want to use this to carve out my brow like she claims it could do, and build up and fill in and do all that stuff I would normally do with other products. So we're gonna use this angle brush here, going into the shades. How rude of me. I'm sure you've seen this palette everywhere. Everywhere. Can't get enough of it. Yeah, I need a lighter shade, y'all. I can't keep doing this. I cannot keep doing this. Okay, we're gonna go ahead attempt to use this palette solely to build up the whole face. And we're gonna start with the brows. And there's like some shades in here. We have Sculpted. I know Sculpted might just be the brow shade for me. And this is the color of Sculpted. So for those who don't know, this palette is like no other. It has a creamy part to it, which claims to be, what is it saying? Let me just, okay. So it says the velvet pomade part to the palette. It's super creamy, like her what you call it? It seems to be like her, where's her stuff? Oh, it's on my to-go bag. It seems to be like her pomade thingy for the whole face. I'll put a picture of that on the screen for you guys. That was for the whole face in different shade range. You could use it as a setting powder, as a foundation itself, or even as a primer. I have been loving that, and this may have the similar ingredients on there. You would sculpt around with that, and then next to that pomade are the powdery products. I'm so upset with this palette because the pen sizes are so tiny for what it's claimed to, you know, to be able to do. I want me bigger stuff. Bring out bigger palettes of these products, Denessa Myricks, if in my dream. I'm just saying though. So these are the two together, the powder of the pomade, and this is the pomade, this is the powder, and they each have similar thing going on. So what we're gonna do is build up or sculpt up with the pomade and then set with the powder. Let me zoom you guys in a little bit. I find that this palette is not a palette to be using in a rush. You must take your time. You must take your time. Let me remove this little plasticky thing. To build up, to not necessarily blend, but building up the product is necessary. Having taken time to do that instead of just boom, you know, slap it on the face and ready to go. No, you got to take your sweet time with this one. So we have the product on the little brush here. I'm going to go ahead like I normally do. Carve out my brow. I'm getting payouts. I'm getting good stuff happening right now with the little stroke I already applied on the brow. And then we're going to use the pomade also to fill in the gaps. So far so good, y'all. No problem as of yet. No complaints. We just got to take our time. So y'all see, the difference. The brow that's done, and then this one that I'm gonna go ahead and build up, and be right back with the powder to set for you guys. Okay, we're done building up this brow. Y'all see, that shade is the perfect shade for my brow color. Loving it. We're gonna go together with the powder side and using the same brush. This may be a teensy bit lighter than what the pomade is. We're gonna go ahead and set. I like it. I expected it to take much longer with building up the stuff, but that wasn't the case. So we did that with the brow. With another smaller flathead brush, let's see how we're gonna go ahead and clean up like we would normally do with our concealer. And the shade that I'm gonna go in with the pomade as a concealer is this shade right here, Myricks. Okay, and this has some little flecks of stuff in there. Like, what is this? I don't know. Let me mix it all up. Okay, this, we have some goods on the brush. We're gonna go ahead and clean around. As we would normally do with our concealers, y'all. This is really, really pretty. Okay, using a concealer to do this might just be much faster. But listen, y'all see how this cleans up and shows up around the brow? We carved out with the Denessa Myricks palette, you guys. It's a little drastic. I mean, it's a little dramatic and everything, but I'm liking the result. We're gonna go using this little small round brush here with the powder side of Myricks, and set that real quick or soften up everything. We will continue going back to these shades when I'm ready to do the full eyes, but right now this is what we are looking like. Product shows. products deliver. Okay, yeah. Our next thing is using these shades as under eyes brightening and contouring around the nose. We're gonna go ahead and attempt using that with this palette and see where we at. We're gonna have this little brush here. I'm using this Morphe X Jaclyn Hill JH19 brush. Y'all hearing helicopter. Saturday morning, this is how it is over here. And I'm gonna see how sculpting. We already bronze up with that foundation, but I wanna sculpt a little bit more. We're gonna go ahead around the nose using Bark. Same shade around the nose. And this shade, I don't know, this shade excites me but scares me at the same time. We're gonna put that on top here. And I'm using another JHX Morphe 18 brush. I don't know. I mentioned on my haul, if this palette, because it did build up or carve out my brow. It's a pretty shade. Let me try to using the powder. This is my problem here. This is my problem. How am I gonna get to this? Nobody got time for this. That's my problem with this product. The first time I saw it, I'm like, what? Where's the face part using this product? How? Unless I go like this, which I think I can. Mix the two regardless. And do what I gotta do. I'm exhausted. Okay. I am a little bit exhausted using this like this. I love the palette. I love the products on here. But the layout somewhat gives me a problem. Maybe it's not the traditional stuff that I'm used to. But I get it. I get the idea. I get the full-blown delivery of this. But what I'm gonna use this palette for is strictly for my brows, strictly for my eyes. We don't know yet. We're gonna go ahead and put that around the eyes and see how that goes. And perhaps lips. Let me stick with everything else that I would normally do as far as concealing the under eye with my regular concealers, because I do enjoy that. And use my regular bronzers and cream bronzers because I also enjoy that. And we'll keep the palette for the other stuff. Let me go ahead and get my eyes out the way since the palette is wide open here, ready to be used. Let's go ahead and set the whole lid with So we put that all over. I'm gonna go ahead and use this brush here, also with the desert shade, going into the powder side to set the pomade. Y'all see the pigmentation? It is showing, it is delivering. So we have that beigey, sandy shade looking all over. Let's add some warmth and some depth into this. We're gonna go into Harvest, the pomade first. We're gonna go into Sculpt with this brush right here. Wipe off that first Myricks product from it. And I'm gonna use the pomade. To build up the intensity around the lashes. All right, let me add a little bit of color going into core. I'm gonna use the pomade side and go all over the outer part. It's not showing up much. Let's go into the powder. Just to tone down that beigey shade we have on the brow bone. And I'm gonna go ahead and use, or let's say sandstone, on the inner part of the lid for some highlight, or mid part. Like so. Same brush going into the powder part. Okay, we have this going. The ankle brush I'm gonna use as into tourmaline, the black shade on here, as a liner under or within that first sculpted shade we use on the lining, the eyeline part, the lash line part. And I'm gonna use that as a liner. Much closer to the lash line. This is great because comparing to a liquid liner, you can really manipulate this how you want because it holds. And then you could set it, manipulating this one much more compared to a regular thing. I could wiggle this in between my crazy lashes fine. Look how clean this is. And if I make a mistake, I can easily use the lighter shade to wipe that mistake off. I like it. We're gonna do the under eye when the face is done, but so far so good with the eyes. And It is definitely a process, you guys, using this palette, and you got to take your time. And so far the palette did its thing around the eyes area just fine. Not a fan of the usage on the face. I'll stick to my traditional stuff with that, and let's get to exactly that. To do normally this back up here, we're gonna go in, because on the inner part, if you guys recall, I did not use the foundation because it's much darker. We're gonna light up the face with these concealers. We're gonna go into Maple first. And put that anywhere and everywhere the foundation, you know, we didn't put the foundation. That's really what's gonna balance out the face. And get things going. And sand, warm sand, is much lighter, and I'm gonna use that as my little highlight shade. My foundation brush, I'm gonna go ahead and mix that up. And with my sponge, there's nothing on the sponge. Remember, I had the remaining product from the palette on this brush, so we're gonna use that to somewhat clean up the nose. There's really some products on here I can nicely go and refocus that on top of that contour shade. Okay, what do you guys think? I'm liking it so far. Let's go ahead and set the face like we normally do with our powder. And with our powder, and then we'll see where we at the end of the day. I'm gonna go ahead and use my Too Faced translucent powder from Born This Way to set the whole face, and then we're gonna go ahead and I have not really used this to set the whole face. I mainly used to focus this on the under eye, but it's translucent, right? It's not supposed to be giving out colors or being too white on the face. So let's go ahead and see what's that looking like. I'm using the Zoeva Face Finish brush, and mainly, oh shit, it is giving. It's not translucent. Look, I'm looking like a ghost. Okay, let's do that. I'm gonna go ahead and it should somewhat work because we're supposed to be much darker around the face. So, I don't know. Yeah, it's looking not, it's not translucent. The last time I used this was under my eye. And never thought it would be like this for the whole face. Granted, I think it somewhat balances out the foundation that was much darker and much red on the face. But under the eye, we're gonna use the Jaclyn Cosmetics Brightening Apricot Under Eye Powder. Let me go ahead and use a brush with this powder. That powder is brightening, for real, for real. I'm removing whatever creasing under the eye. First. Lightly set. I wasn't gonna use this, but I'm gonna go ahead with my Powder Sculpt Velvet Powder from also House Lab to bronze the face. This is again another darker shade, but I feel like if I use it lightly, it could just give me what I need on top of this grayish situation we got on the face with the powder, the translucent powder from Too Faced. Okay, we'll leave the rest for blush. And we're gonna go ahead and dust off the powder lightly, and then we should be ready to go. Okay, so for blush, I'm gonna go ahead and use my Milani Baked Rose Doro powder blush. She looks like this. I don't want nothing like too much on the cheek. We're gonna do just that. This also has some a little highlight to it. This is it. Okay, let's save the day with some misting and get all this powderiness out of the way and see what the face really looks like at the end of all this. Should I still use this one? I think I should, because it does give me a nice glow. We're gonna go ahead and keep it like that. I don't like the sunscreen, the odor and the onto the face with this one. Let's see how it goes. I'm gonna put it much farther. We are glowing. Now, did it really set everything? And I think I should do something else. Let me go into my Revolution Conceal and Define 16-hour conceal setting spray over that. Hopefully we're not doing too much right now. That's what I should have used first. We need the melting happening, and then we could put whatever else to make it last on the face. But since I did it in reverse, I really don't know what damage I've done right now. So let's see. Let's give this face some time to really settle, and then we're gonna go ahead and finish the under eye, and then we'll go into the lips. And I'm using the Denessa Myricks lips palette as well, along with another product she has. Yeah, let's just, y'all know this is real life here, okay? We're not trying to finesse anything. Let's fan out the face however we can with whatever we have, okay? We're still looking glowy. We're not as bronzed up as I would love to be. But we're doing something. We did something. And I don't, right when I was about to say, I see a little lifting, just a teensy bit, like right here. Let's move past it. Listen, it's a struggle this morning. What's going on? I don't know. So with that same palette, we're gonna line up the lips. We're gonna fill in the lips and gloss it up with the Dewy Cheek and Lip palette from Denessa Myricks as well. I think I used this with you guys here before. This is what she looks like. We could gloss it up with that and then build it up with this. Okay? That same little angle brush we did on the brow, we're gonna use that around the lips. And I'm gonna go into Bark. To line the lips up. Okay. I like that. And then we're gonna use same brush. I'm brushing off that darker shade. Let's go into core. I want to use core. Core seems to be the driest shade in this palette for some reason. All the other shades seems to be more moist. But this one is holding up for life. Maybe I need to break into it. Nope, it's crumbling. But this is she on the lips. Let me use my finger. Yo, this, y'all see core? Core is stubborn. This is all the other shades that I've used, but core is putting up a fight. So I really gotta wiggle the brush from here and break it. Liking. Let's gloss it up, and I'm gonna use this one. on top of Core, which is Hush Hush. Hush Hush is more pinkish. Okay, guys, we're done. Oh, the under eye. The under eye. We're gonna use this little brush right here. I want to go into Harvest and use that all over. I'm using the powder. I'm not gonna go into though. I can also re-emphasize the lining because my concealer somewhat went over it lightly with tourmaline. I have a headache. We're looking pretty with a headache. Maybe I should line up this a little more. Oh, a lot of Harvest. Nope, was it bark? And we're done. Mistake learned. That sunscreen slash spray from Milani definitely is to be used last or the very first time, or the last set after setting with a regular water base. I don't know what base they are. Child, let me just shut up and let this face speaks for itself. We got our face naturally sculpted. We have the face done. This is a natural built, you know, a natural soft everyday look we got going on. I'm not gonna scare everybody when I step out there doing my rounds today. And my setting spray, I feel, just lifted or cracking my lid. What I got going on the lid. Let me just set that a little more. Yeah, I don't know if it's the sunscreen and the setting spray, or I don't know what it is, but we're here. Thank you for sticking through with me, guys. You guys, this was a journey. This was an adventure. I'm not sure if it was an enjoyable adventure because we did a lot for this to happen. Palette is a lot of work, in my opinion. Don't come for me. I love her. I love Denessa Myricks, but the palette as an eyeshadow somewhat takes some work comparing to a regular eyeshadow palette. Perhaps the pasting and the powdering and all that is a little too much. What I'm looking at right now, my creases or over my lid, the fold is somewhat cracking. If I had the paste or the pomade and the powder, I don't feel that should have happened, but it is happening. However, the product individually to be used for a like this lining situation I'm feeling right now is everything. I think I could use that on the lips as well to line up with different shades of browns and stuff, and the inner part to build up and give like this soft neutral lip. That's everything. The full face, using the palette on the full face, I don't think that's it for me. I'll stick with my concealers, my bronzers, my cream contours or whatever, or bronzers, and my powders, and let them do their thing. This was a fail. This messed up my face, I feel, because I do have breakage happening on the cheekbone area, like right here, and I'm not liking it. Yes, it's giving me a nice glowy finish, but I could have gotten that from other stuff. And amongst all this, we're forgetting about this foundation. I don't think I fully get the feel of this foundation because I mainly use it on the side of my face and stuff. Yes, it's light. Yes, it's, you know, it's really pretty on the skin, but I want to have the foundation do its thing all over the face. So I'm definitely returning this for another one, a lighter one, perhaps today, and we'll see what that looks like once I find my shade. That was my bad because I was getting this in a rush, and I wasn't putting much effort to get my shade. And then the lights at Sephora was just like into your face. You think you got something, but it is not it when you come home with it. All of that plays into this wrong shade. But in any case, my loves, thank you so much. I'll see you guys on another one. This was a lengthy one. Hopefully I get this out in one piece, and I'll see you guys, and thank you for watching, and subscribe and comment. Let me know. Until next time.